Welcome back to Down Lineup. Today I'm here with co-host Sunny, and we're back at Sanha. How we feeling today, boys?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Another week of baseball summer's coming along.
Yep.
Weather's getting nice.
We got the live IRL podcast.
Yes.
today.
So we all here today. We got a little setup today. Let's get into the recap. So, for our predictions last week, the Cubs they swept 2-game series against the White Sox. Boston they split their 4-game series with the White Sox, and the Brewers were swept by the Phillies. Any quick thoughts on those series?
Kind of just went how we thought it was gonna go, I guess. Ish. I mean, the Orioles. I said that last week that the Orioles were gonna upset the Phillies, and they don't even play until this weekend, so that's nice. But
And then the big series over the weekend, the Dodgers, they took 2 out of 3 in the Bronx against the Yankees.
Yep.
And a potential World Series preview. How are you feeling about that as the resident Dodgers fan? And how does that does it change your opinion on the team?
not really, to be honest. I mean, they didn't play against Soto. You could debate. And it's kind of honestly, this doesn't really mean much to me personally. I just want them to win in the playoffs, so it's all that matters.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right. So that's the little preview. Who's your player of the week?
Right, play of the week. I had Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar, I'm only picking him, because I didn't want to pick Judge like everyone else, to be honest. Hit 360 over the past 7 days with a 429 OBP, 24 total bases, 10 ribbies, 4 home runs. He went off against the Yankees in that series. Literally could not pitch to him after Judge rubbed his home run.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I think this is like more weekend series type of like guy, but I mean you could feel his presence
Yeah.
they definitely was scared to pitch to him. And like when you did get Teoscar out, you could tell like the Yankees were more energized. So who do you have for your player of the week?
My player of the week was Aaron Judge. I mean, he is just on fire recently after a pretty slow start to the season. This week he went 10 for 20, so even 500, 630 OBP. He had 3 homers. His slugging was like over 1,000. I mean, that's just insane. Yeah,
Especially after that bad month too. He's
Yeah.
got like 23 home runs, 8 leads, right?
he leads the MLB in homers, and he
Yeah.
leads the MLB in slugging and OPS. So, yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge he's back. I mean, he is.
Yeah, I mean this is what you want out of the duo of Solo and Judge.
Yeah.
And then for my player of the week, in an attempt not to pick Judge because I picked him 2 weeks in a row. Elliot Ramos, batted 429 on the week, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, scored 4 runs, and had a 571 on base percentage. Just kind of come out of nowhere for the Giants, and like he's actually been hot. He won the MLB Player of the Week, if not last week, a couple weeks ago, and he's put together another solid week for the Giants as they kind of push for second place. And then who are you guys' team of the week? So I'm the first in this one.
Team of the week, I think I chose the Reds. They, aside from yesterday, I believe, they won all their games. They swept the Rockies, won the series against the Cubs. Yeah, I mean, pretty good Cubs team they beat there. This team, it's kind of surprising that they're under 500. I mean, they got a lot of young talent. And yeah, I mean, you got Ali obviously like facing the franchise. He's been, I think I saw something, he had just played 162 games like in his career, and his stats over those are pretty good. I mean, like almost 70 steals, like 25 homers, but he did strike out like over 200 times. So I think that, that's obviously a style of play. So interesting to see how his career pans out from there. But Thomas, what about you?
Yeah, I also had the Reds. You kind of mentioned it. They went 6-1 in the week. Other than their Sunday loss, they were undefeated. And then we'll get into it a little bit later, but the NL is very interesting in terms of like the wild card race and like the teams in the hunt. And I mean, the Reds they kind of like put themselves back into the hunt, even though they're still 2 games under. They give themselves a chance to like kind of break through and like get one of the wild card spots, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Sonny, who's your team of the week?
I had the Dodgers just because they took 2 out of 3 against the Yankees on national TV. I mean, with all the hype surrounding it, it's just good to take 2 out of 3 and move on.
Yeah.
Or keep going.
And then moving on to our previews real quick. So like I mentioned earlier, the Orioles Philly series was not last week, it's this week. So I picked that one for my series of the week.
Yeah, I also did.
Yeah. I had Rangers and Dodgers for my series of the week. Should be entertaining.
Interesting choice considering how the Rangers are doing this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rangers honestly kind of step it up.
Mhm.
They need it, and I think beating the Dodgers, honestly, for them would be like the biggest turnaround in their season. Still no Corey Seager with hamstring issues. But if they could beat the Dodgers even 2 out of 3 or however much they're playing, could be a big turnaround for them.
Yeah. Could you up your upset series of the week?
Right, upset series of the week. I have the Royals upsetting the Yankees. With the way the Royals are playing right now, being down 7, against the Mariners, coming back, putting up that many runs, it just kind of shows like how resilient and how pretty legit this team is against good, solid pitching. I think the Royals are going to be very solid this year for sure. I think they'll be the Yankees.
I believe I had the Reds over the Guardians. I think it's only a 2-game series, so that's kind of part of the reason why I chose it. Like literally, like anything can happen. Like it's only 2 games. They do have the Reds. They have they're starting pitching Nick Lodolo. He's been very good recently, and I think that they can definitely take that game. And yeah, I mean, the first game you never know what can happen. I think the Guardians have Tris McKenzie. He's been kind of so I think that the Reds can definitely take the series from a very good Guardians team.
I have the A's over the Twins. The Twins are really inconsistent, and the A's they're a team that like you're always like you don't want to lose to the A's, but like they're always at risk of like taking a series randomly. I think if the Twins kind of like go on a like downward trend, they could lose the series to the A's. And then for my lock of the week, I got the Mariners with the White Sox.
Me as well. So
I also, yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is just one where it's like
at this point, we should just call the podcast like
the
the White Sox pick on.
Yeah.
because of the White Sox. Yeah. I think all of us have the same thought process. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the White. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the White Sox don't.
It's not even about like the White Sox giving up runs to the Mariners. I've watched like about like 15 times.
Yeah, I
but
mean, we've seen the Mariners like the starting rotation didn't give up a run to the Angels.
yeah.
And like
I mean,
I think-
against bad teams, like this rotation is
Yeah.
very solid.
yeah.
the Mariners could score 1 run a game and still might sweep.
Like
Yeah.
All right. Some quick news. So Tucupita Marcano is banned for life for gambling in baseball. And then a quick note, he only hit 4% of his 4.3% of his best. I'll give him that 0.3. Make sure you remember that 0.3. Just any quick thoughts on like the ban for life?
I mean, you already get paid lots of money to play baseball. You probably worked like plus 20 years of your life to even get to this point. To just throw it away, I don't know. It just seems dumb. And
He's too young too, right? He's
that's
pretty
what
young.
I'm saying. Like he's gonna be buying groceries for the rest of his life.
And you're only hitting 4%. Like,
Yeah.
Like he's gonna tell people, "Oh,
you're gonna bet. bro.
I did play baseball. Oh, what happened? Oh, I got banned for life.
Betting.
Betting,
Not even winning anything.
not even winning into my bets. Like,
I don't understand. Like, I mean, I guess gambling is an addiction, but like
Yeah.
betting on your own games and like betting on your own team.
that's just a different level.
It's so
Yeah.
like I mean that's like the first rule of sports. Like
Yeah.
don't put it in jeopardy like
Yeah.
that's like
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
lines and like bets. Another City Connect release. The Twins released the City Connects. Do you like it? Dislike it? Any thoughts on it?
think we just need to shy away from the blue colors, honestly. Like I know it's like supposed to relate to them or whatever, but I'd like to see more design. Like I feel like Nike's really pushing this whole like color like hidden meaning thing to like really keep the jerseys like somewhat subtle, but I feel like just a better design would be
I feel
more
like
preferred in my opinion.
all these jerseys are not being designed by like baseball people.
Mhm.
Like
Definitely not.
it looks so like it looks like all of them look like a slow pitch softball jersey. It's
Like
just
something you make like online that you pay
Yeah.
like $500
It's just
for like
like-
instead of 24 for.
I don't know.
I think this is like something where like they get a person who like designs like a picture and then they put it on the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like looking at the Minnesota, like the wavy part of it, it's like it's just not like appealing to the eye. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like looking at this jersey and being like, man, this looks good. It's like there's a lot going on. And I think LB is doing too much.
Yeah.
I like the patches and like one design, but like putting like the background and then like making something for the logo and then like you got the back, the name, like it's just like a little too much in my opinion. I think like some simplicity sometimes it's good.
Yeah, they gotta realize that fans don't care about like all the little details, but like, oh, this is like this one thing that happened in Minnesota in 1847, and that represents the heart of the city or some shit like that. Like all we just want like cool looking jerseys, like
Something different, but something that's like like you can watch it and like see the jersey on the field and like that's a
Yeah.
clean jersey.
yeah,
It's something like when you wear it, like you don't have to like be a Minnesota person to like
Yeah.
be able to like wear that jersey. I think with a lot of these, like you kind of like have to be someone from Minnesota to like wear this.
understand.
Yeah, like if something's like like a specific event from like like 1847. It's like if you're from like Wisconsin, you're just a Twins fan, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't really wear it. You're not
Yeah.
like, representing. You're representing like Minnesota, the city, not like the team.
Yeah. Also, off topic, what do you guys think are your favorite city connects that have been released so far?
I look through it, but off the top of my head, I like the Padres ones.
Padres ones are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are very like either people love them or they hate them. I like them. I think they.
The Marlins don't have do
No, the Marlins
The
have.
Marlins ones
I
are
like
the
good.
Marlins are good.
those ones are.
Yeah, it's the orange one, right?
Yeah.
Like the.
Yeah.
I like the White Sox ones.
Yeah,
those
the
are
White
very,
Sox
like,
ones are clean.
Those
I'm
are.
not opposed to the Mariners ones, honestly.
I've been liking the Mariners ones more.
I mean, I have the jersey, so
Yeah.
Also, the Baltimore ones, like they kind of grown on me.
The
After
last
this. I was like, this
Yeah.
what are they doing? But like now that like they wear them,
Yeah.
it's fresh.
yeah.
Yeah. That's all like the really simple, more simpler ones.
I like the Brewers one too. The Brew Crew,
Mm.
like the
Oh yeah.
like
I forgot that those were a thing.
Yeah, the Royals are pretty good too.
Yeah. Those ones like they're similar enough to their normal jerseys to where like, oh wow, like these are something different, but like
Yeah.
they're cool. Like they're so like Kansas City.
Is there one that you don't like? One that's like you think is the worst?
Oh, the Pirates one, bro. It's just
Oh,
it is weird. Like I like it's like yeah. Pirates one.
yeah, the PGH one.
Yeah, that was just not really it.
I'm not very into the Mets ones.
Mets ones.
I feel like the Mets ones was a little too like gray. Like I understand like the skyscrapers and everything, but like I feel like the Mets are like a light colored team.
Yeah.
Like if they would have made like something like orange and like like orange and blue, like or even like some other like light.
The Rockies have a good one.
Mhm.
The Mountains.
Yeah.
I like the Angels ones. I know you don't, but you said you don't like them, right?
No, I don't really like the Angel ones, but I mean, I can see like what it is. Like, it's not too over the top. I personally don't like them, but I mean,
I don't like the Giants ones.
Those ones, I don't really like those ones either. They're like
How do you feel about the Cubs ones?
I like the
don't
movie
really
though.
like
I
them.
still know about the design.
What about the Braves?
They're just
The Diamondbacks
they're just like the
throwback.
regular.
It's a
They're
throwback.
just a throwback,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're cool. I mean, oh, I like the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
ones.
the Diamondbacks ones
I like the Angels, it's just a throwback as well.
It
Yeah.
is, but
It's
like
like
they have a
cool-
little bit like a
cool
little bit to the
throwback,
side of it. I don't know.
The Reds have a good one, I like the black, I'm a big fan of the black.
I'd rather them go like black
Yeah,
than like blue. And
Yeah.
it's like blue, like like for the Philly ones, like you didn't expect them to have blue jerseys, you know, like
yeah.
it's not really like. I
I
don't
don't
know.
mind like going to like different colors. But, like the Red Sox ones are okay. I don't think like the yellow is really like too bad, even though like they're not like a team that like you associate
Yeah.
with the yellows. I think it's fine.
Nationals have a good one.
Yeah, I like that. But like I like what
They
they
don't
do.
have that anymore though, right?
I don't know. I like what they do with them and the Wizards. They have like the matching cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
I like that. And I think like more cities should do that. Like
Mm.
have it correspond with another
Yeah.
team.
I'm not city fans.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick reflection real quick. Thoughts on the state of MLB right now? How do you think like the league is right now, the competitiveness, just anything you want to talk about? Real quick?
Definitely more competitive than last year, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I feel like compared to last year, we saw a lot of like teams kind of drop off really early, like and fall behind
Yeah.
like 10+ games in the division.
There's a lot more around 500 teams.
Yeah.
There's like I know there's like 4 like above 500 teams. Like
Which is honestly, you could give a big like. That's a big thing on the prospects that are coming in. Like it's like the game is like changing.
yeah.
Slowly starting to evolve. The younger guys are getting better, and so teams that are banking on the younger guys got better, like the Royals did,
Yeah.
obviously.
Alright, I got it. So right now, other than like the AL East, where Baltimore's 2.5 games back,
Yeah,
a lot of the other divisions kind of have like a clear front runner. The Guardians, they're 4 games up, but they've been
I think
playing.
really say five games and below is like a front.
I think
year runner.
at this point, like
At this point,
no, but I think 5 games right now is like you're like kind of separating.
Like you're solid.
Yeah. I
You're
mean,
building a good margin.
the AL is more competitive. Like the NL, the Phillies are 9 games up,
Yeah.
and like the Braves are one of the, like you said, 4 or 500, like above 500
Yeah.
teams. Like the next best is 15 games back. So like the Phillies kind of got it. The Brewers are 6.5 games up, and then the Dodgers are 8 games up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's front running. Like I think all 3 of those teams, like you can pretty much pencil in to win the division, unless like they have like a big collapse or a big like injury. We don't have to happen. But like there's a lot more wild card races. Like I'm looking at the wild card stuff right now. In the AL, you got like 6 teams within 3 games of each other, right? So that's one series. And then in the NL, I mean, you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Everybody
7,
but-
8,
Yeah,
9.
everybody but the Rockies and the Marlins.
Yeah, it's 9 teams within 3 games. And like, I mean, yeah, like how do we feel about that? Just like the division races are kind of out of the question, other than like select few. But like the wild card races being so competitive.
I think that makes it really exciting, especially if this holds up to the end of the season. Like I can just imagine like last week everyone's stressing and like
Well,
every team's still in it.
it also like fits like the mantra of like division leaders should be like leaders, like set leaders that like last year, like the Rangers like took the division by like a game. I mean, you don't can't call
They
that.
lost on
They
the
lost
last
on the
day.
last day.
Oh yeah,
We won. The Mariners won
Yeah.
1-0 against him, and the
Yeah.
Astros took it.
exactly. I mean, like it's not like it'd be nice to have set leaders and then have the wild card race be that competitive, considering that's like kind of what it's meant for.
And then like to add on, I guess. So both leagues have like the one team in the top wild card. It's like they just play the top division. The Braves and the Orioles. It's like, well, either the Braves, the Phillies, the Yankees, or the Orioles. Like
Yeah.
2 of those teams are gonna be like wild card teams.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're playing competition that's like put it nicely, not like up to par of what they are. What do you think about like that and like how the system is right now? Do you think like there should be some change to where like the top, because every year we see like 100 win, like a high 90s to 100 win team get the wild card, and then like either like they take care of business or like they fall. So there's like some discussion like why are they playing like why are they playing?
Well,
the
to be
wild card?
fair, like I mean, if they deserve it, they'll win. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
so
saying?
like do you think it should be like NBA system where like the top like 2 records get the buys, or you change it to where like you go by record, like each division winner gets to be in the playoffs.
I think now you should because everyone plays everyone. Like, I don't think it would have applied like 3 years ago
Yeah.
or however, whenever they made that change. It was last year, but
But yeah, 3 years ago, like it was a different like.
yeah, so I mean. I think now that's definitely, because it's fair game, everyone's playing everyone.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
not
excuse.
like. So you think they should basically like the divisions won't matter as much anymore?
Not necessarily, I mean,
It's still
I like
higher,
the idea of like the depth
Division
to like a
level.
conference, like style, to be honest,
Yeah, I
like,
like
I don't really. Care for the whole like AL West, AL East, like it's just, it doesn't make sense that. Like the teams who don't deserve it but are first place in their division, get to go through and like.
I like the idea of having like division winners get to make the playoffs, but they're not guaranteed a top 3 seed.
Yeah.
So like
So like if you had.
if you're the, like the fifth best, like in terms of record, like of the sixth best
Yeah.
team, right? If you're the fifth best record, then you get the 5 seed.
Yeah.
But like in some crazy scenario where like you're the division winner, but like you're the seventh best record, you hop over the 6th seed.
Oh.
Just because like if you're a 6th seed, like that means you're a third place team,
That's true.
right? And it's like if you win your division and like you're like they do jump over a third place team for like some crazy scenario, but like you're guaranteed a spot, but you're not guaranteed like a top 3 seed in like a home game. And then like one last thing to tie in on this, like during the trade deadline, it's gonna be interesting because a lot of teams are gonna be in it, and like if you're like the Mets, right? Like, do you trade away Pete Alonso or do you make a push, right? If you're the Rays, do you give away Randy Rosen? If you're the Blue Jays, because everything's so close, are you selling Vladdy and Bichette and Springer?
Well,
The Red Sox, are you selling pitching?
dude, for like the Mets, like there's some teams where you just know like they're not like built for like a.
I mean, it's about time the Mets like give up like their whole dream of like this being good now.
Like if you're the Mets, right? If you're Steve Cohen, like what's the harm in like pushing for the playoffs? Get a little like a few more bucks in your pocket, and then make a push in like in the free agency market, like further.
I mean, they definitely don't have shortage of money, and then it's not like he's
I
like
mean, if
unwilling
you
to.
sell, then like you're kind of starting from scratch. If you keep Alonso, right, you buy a little bit, right, then you can entice free agent and be like,
Maybe it's time to move on from the Alonso core. Like it obviously
Yeah,
never worked.
but like, do you think the New York market's gonna like that? I mean, it's tough to like move on from a core that like you spend so much.
I don't think Mets fans are as passionate as Yankees fans.
But there's still a New York like media. Like I've seen Mets fans like.
I mean, like at the end of the day, like I don't. They shouldn't care what people think. Like you
No,
need to like
it's
do what's
true.
best for the team. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen what happens when a team's not like when a city's not invested in your like,
Yeah.
organization, like
Yeah.
Oakland.
Yeah.
It's like you need like your fans to be invested.
Yeah, it's having money.
Yeah, like
Like
when was the last World Series team that's like from a smaller market?
the Royals.
The Nationals, maybe?
That's national, definitely. Well, they're still like in the.
Yeah, but they're in DC, so I
Big
guess.
area.
But like also they had like a fluke year. That was like
That was crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't like like they were like they
Maybe-
fell off right after.
Yeah, maybe the Royals.
The Royals maybe, but they also fell off soon too.
Yeah.
And they couldn't keep it up. So I mean, I guess having market matters.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at past, what, like 10, 15 years, all the World Series winners that have still been successful after they've won.
Yeah, like multiple cities, like
Yeah.
multiple sports teams in their city.
Yeah, they've been all been like
Yeah,
big city, Texas, like
Houston,
yeah, yeah, like
Atlanta.
New York, like actually not New York. Yeah, not New York. Like LA,
Atlanta, yeah,
like,
LA. We have Boston,
California.
Boston, yeah. Yeah, so it's a little reflection on the league right now. And then the bulk of the episode is gonna be a little debate. I got a few baseball related like coaching things because we're into coaching. We're gonna see like what our philosophies are and like how we see like certain controversial like ideas. So the first one, bunting with the runner on first with no outs. So let's say you're late in the game, you're down one, right? Your leadoff pick gets a walk, right? Are you in favor of bunting to get him over to second?
It's called this is situational, but
No,
But like,
absolutely not.
so like you're not in favor of like the
No.
1 out, run on second?
No.
Like, at what level of baseball are we talking about?
MLB.
MLB?
Yeah, so think about it. So like you run on first, let's say he bunts,
Mhm.
like, and so you got second and 1 out.
Right, so at the end you get like
And you're
your successful is getting a runner like runner on second with 1 out.
Yeah.
Like that's what like the idea is to
Yeah.
get. So like assuming
I think I'd hit and run more, like
Run.
preferably. I think a bunt,
It's like basically the same thing as bunting, except
That's-
you have
yeah,
a
there's
increased chance of actually getting it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, like at least put the ball in play and make something happen while you put your runner in motion, right? I feel like it's a waste, like if you're just keeping the runner there, right?
Mhm.
Unless he's like dirt slow, I mean, even if he was dirt slow, I'd still have him do the hit and run, to be honest. As long as the guy can put the ball in play.
I'd rather just let him hit,
Okay.
and let's say he doesn't get a hit, then you're at your first like run on first, 1 out, like that. You're still like, if you get a base hit, you're gonna from run on first, 1 out, and run on first is run on second, 1 out.
Mhm.
Like run on second, you're likely gonna get a run. Run on
Yeah.
first, you're probably gonna be first and third, 1 out, and that still has a very high percentage chance of getting your money. So I think it's like you don't want to waste an out in such an early like situation where many things can happen.
Mhm.
I think like, and also people just suck at bunting. Like
That's true.
you have a better chance of stealing a base than there are better ways to get around a second.
No, I guess to make the
And not waste
question,
time.
I guess to make the questions interesting, like at the level we're gonna coach at, would you bunt it?
Yes. I still think you should bunt. Like I think I'm in favor of bunting.
Regardless?
Just because all it takes is a base hit and you really double play
That's true.
ability. At our level, like the double play is not like a
That's
real
true.
issue. But like in MLB, like the amount of double plays I've seen get hit into.
That's
Like pitchers are so good at like forcing ground balls that like I've seen like so many double plays just kill a rally. At least with like if you bunt it, get him in the second, that's two opportunities to get a base hit. Like I'm banking on like two at bats to get 1 hit.
Yeah.
And like, assuming the guy can like, score on a base hit, like versus like runner on first, right? You need like an extra base hit, or you need like a string of hits to like get the run in. I think if you're in need of like 1 run, I think I'm always in favor of like bunting and get like a better situation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would, yeah. I feel like depending on who the runner is, I'd rather steal. I'd try
I think
stealing.
it's a good idea, but like the hit run's a little more risky because like if you have like a mediocre slow runner, you're basically like
Well, if you have a guy who plays contact, I mean, worst case scenario, he fouls it.
That's
so-
Yeah. But
Or I guess flies it up, which I mean,
yeah.
it's
we'll
like,
just restart the situation.
I
don't know,
also
that's
think
interesting.
that it could be, it'd be kind of similar for as a hit and run, like just try and bunt for a hit,
Yeah, I
like
think
a
that's a
push
good
bunt
idea.
or something
yeah.
at second base. And I mean that's not like,
That's a good idea too, I think.
it's not that hard to like bunt.
Mhm.
I think players just don't like, players need to bunt more.
Yeah,
They're
practice bunting more.
yeah, their egos are too high.
Second one. So let's say you have a guy who's like a 5-tool player, right? He's a power bat, he's a speed guy, he can get some contact, right? Where would you bat him in the order? So like this is like a guy like
I guess like
Bobby
the
Witt,
question is
like
like,
Julio.
which one is he the best at though?
Well,
Is he the,
That's called, that's why you put, it says why is
he's
it
a
five?
5-tool
but
guy.
like, what's his like, there's always like,
Like Julio,
Okay,
Bobby
but
Witt,
like,
Acuna.
yeah, Julio, Bobby Witt,
ish players.
the Julio you can debate like isn't like contact, it's
No,
like
I
more
mean,
power.
yeah, but like
But he goes on speed. Like what I'm saying is like Julio's like his 5 tools are like the sharpest.
It all depends on like what the other 8 like hitters are.
Yeah, but I mean like where would you like how would you set him up?
in an average MLB lineup
Like-
where your leadoff hitter is like, you know,
Like would you want him leading off to like even if you have like a mediocre lineup, like
Probably put him in second then.
like is this like regardless you put him in second or
Yeah,
like in
like,
situation?
regardless.
I'm putting up second too.
Just because like if you follow like the Shohei like algorithms, he's like he's the best all around
Right.
between the big 3.
Right.
So you put the guy who's more leadoff like right at leadoff, and the
Yeah,
guy who's
Jason.
more power like at third at the 3, and then you got the guy's most balanced at 2.
So like my argument is like Otani, like I feel like there's an argument putting that batting in third.
I can see that too.
I don't
Because
think so.
Freddie is like he's not like a home run hitter. He's
Yeah,
a
you
double
could-
hitter. So like giving like
To be fair, Shohei isn't really a home run hitter
No.
this year either.
right, but he's
Like he has a lot, don't get me wrong, but like he gets a lot of base hits too, and he's
Right.
fast, like fast.
he's
as
a
hell.
5-tool player, and it's like, would you rather have that, or would you like? I mean, it's like you're picking like between like a lot of like, like specific scenarios, but I feel like having your like I was bad at second, just to
Yeah.
be fair,
Yeah.
but for in Shohei's situation, I feel like batting Shohei third gives you so much more upside, just because he's so fast and like
I think that's why I would bet him second.
okay.
Because you got Freeman.
Like if Freddie gets on base, like let's say it's first and second, Mookie's at second,
Mhm.
like Shohei hits a double.
Then Freddie's not scoring.
Freddie's not
Yeah,
scoring,
but then
but
if-
if you flip the scenario, like Shohei's scoring.
Showing
You know
can
what
do
I'm
more
saying?
on the bases and get in a better situation for the later hitters.
Like for sure, I would put Shohei at the two. And I didn't really agree with it at the start because I didn't understand why. I didn't even realize it was like that
That's
fast.
I think
So would you like? So you like would you rather have Acuna bat second then, or like what's like the idea of the time behind
who's betting second when we
Ozzy?
I honestly don't agree with it. I think Ozzy would be a better leadoff.
That's
hitter.
what
Yeah.
I think Ozzy should
Yeah,
be leading
but
off.
to be honest, like the Braves are so good.
Yeah, the
like,
Braves kind of
it doesn't really matter.
It's kind of like an exception because they're all
and Acuna, you could also debate out of his 5 tools, his speed is the most prolific tool.
his base
base
But
running.
he still had 40 homers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's an exceptional base runner. Like it kind of
That'll be like consistent. Like, his hitting might
Yeah.
not be
I
consistent.
mean, his hitting wasn't consistent at the start of the year, you know what I'm saying? But he could still run.
yeah,
I mean, he was hurt, so.
but yeah.
My only thing is like, if you have a leadoff homer, like as good as it is, it's kind of like you can pitch around it. Like we've seen like
Yeah, Mariners.
yeah, like I think
JP Henry lead off home and Cole Reagan struck out like everybody.
Yeah, it's like-
Well, that's like, I mean, those are specific scenarios.
Right, but I'm saying, like-
you always want to lead a home run, I feel like though.
no, but I think like
No,
I feel like you don't want to lead a home run. Like, what coach doesn't want to lead a home run?
okay, but like if you take away the home run, if you're gonna get a home run in an inning, right? If you got to pick where you got a home run in an inning, I feel like
Personally,
I mean, if you have to pick, sure, but that's not how it works. It's
No, what I'm saying is like if JP got not batting leadoff, right?
Yeah.
That's not gonna he's not gonna get worse just because he's not batting leadoff.
Yeah.
Like if he's gonna hit a homer, he's gonna hit a homer.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
if you got him third, right? There's 2 batters ahead of you that have a possibility of getting on base to make it a 2-run homer.
There's also debate though that like guys like that, like they
Like-
don't hit well, like home run wise with guys on base.
Maybe.
Like
that's like a run. That's just like they're like clutch. Like that's
Maybe.
like a pressure thing. I feel like.
But I mean, like, if you have Acuna like hit a leadoff homer, right? Like you're not if you're a pitcher, you're like, oh, I made a bad pitch.
Yeah.
I still can lock in
Yeah.
and work around it. Versus like if you have like if you're facing like, let's say like you walk the leadoff hitter on the Royals, right? Now you're facing Bobby Witt, right?
Yeah.
You have more pressure on you. Because if you give up a homer, that's 2 runs, right?
yeah.
If you're facing like if you're facing the Mariners, right? And like JP gets on and Rojas gets on. Now you got Julio who,
That's when it grounds to double play.
he could, but you have more pressure. Like this is a 5-tool guy. He can get a base hit,
Yeah.
score a run. He can hit into power, get a homer, get a double, and now you got more like on you. Versus like if you give up a leadoff like instead of needs a leadoff double, leadoff triple, you can still work around that. And like even though it's a tough like lineup, you can still work around that. Versus like a guy batting second or third,
Yeah.
like having more opportunities to drive runs in, especially for a 5-tool guy.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't, like, if there's no one on, he can still use his tools to like work around the bases and like create like chaos.
I like the trend of more teams putting their best player like second.
Yeah, I like that too.
Like I don't think that's Trout.
Well, not necessarily
Like-
bad. I mean, yeah, they're 5-tool player. Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah, not the
Acuna,
best.
like
that five-
I mean, Judge. Didn't he? I swear, did he?
Judge hit 2 before, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but Judge is pretty fast. No way.
Right, and that's
It's
why-
just because his legs are so long.
but that's why I think they put him at 2. It's just
Yeah,
it's like
he's-
if
He's kind of versatile within the
Decent
lineup.
baseman.
yeah, he's not like the best baseman, but like he has power
Yeah.
and like he's not slow on the base.
I mean, he has power for sure.
Like he can score on on pretty good
He has
days.
power. I think he has power.
Yes. And like my thought process was Altuve because I've seen so many Altuve like leadoff homers
Yeah.
just for like
But, like-
not to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like Altuve's a leadoff homer, but then like like Tucker maybe like is a single, and then like Jordan like grounds out, and then
Yeah.
like Abreu like
But I mean, who would you put?
no, I
Or
think
would you put someone at? Would you do someone at leadoff, and then
Altuve,
Altuve,
Tucker,
That'd
Alvarez.
be kind of crazy.
Exactly, right? Like imagine Jeremy Pena at leadoff.
Yeah. But
Okay?
then, yeah.
Like if you just like if you look at it, right? Like I understand what they're doing with like Altuve's like speed threat, but like I feel like if you put Jeremy Pena at leadoff, right? Then like if he gets on, then you have Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez as your 2, 3, 4 hitters.
I also think for Altuve's situation and some other guys, their leadoff, them batting leadoff is more like a feel thing.
Yeah.
Like Altuve's such an aggressive bro will swing at any first pitch and like no matter what. And you know, more likely than not, like the first pitch of a ball game is like so you just want to get a strike. Like an easy
Yeah.
like fastball, and so more likely that he'll get a good pitch to hit. Versus if they're already a batter in. And it's like, okay, now I gotta think about this guy, how do I push this guy? And like guys like Schwarber, that's kind of a special case though.
That's
Schwarber's like the opposite of a leadoff hitter. Bro can't ever average, only hits homers, but for some reason when you put him in the leadoff spot, he just hits there.
Interesting. I guess speaking of Schwarber, if you were to build like a team, right? Like MLB team, this is specifically MLB team. Would you build it on power and pitching, or like contact, speed, fielding for like the team structure?
Definitely contact, speed, and fielding, because
I disagree, but
I disagree also.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
So like,
contact and speed, I would just go towards like
this is
help
like
with it.
pretty much like the Guardians versus like the Mariners type of thing.
You're not even got power though.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the Yankees, but like these are like crazy. Like I guess
Like at Mariners, if they're good. If
Yeah.
they're like hitting. Good.
yeah.
I mean, if your team can field, your team can put the ball in play, your team can run, you know, they got speed. I mean, that's gotta outweigh power, which with like no contact.
I think he's.
Power's useless without contact, we all know
I
that.
think. I guess like the idea is this. Like,
And we've seen how far good pitching will take you on a team. I mean, like it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like the Mariners aren't where we want it to be.
I mean, okay, let's say like the Raiders were like they were a power
Definitely
power pitching, right?
power and pitching team. They had, I mean, they got like Eovaldi, they had like Heaney.
Yeah, like
What like and Evan Carter and Corey Seager were like putting balls in play like every time they step up.
I mean, yeah.
To be
yeah,
fair.
but I mean, I feel like
Jonah Heim's a good hitter, like
yeah.
But they're a speed team. For
Yeah,
sure.
they're not
They're not. They're
Like the speed teams are like the Royals.
Royals, like
like,
Guardians, like
yeah.
Reds, like you think maybe they don't know.
we see how firsthand how like the Reds base running like wins the games. Like he
Yeah.
takes so many bases.
I think like the base running and contact is more like a lower level thing. Like if you have teams that can like put the ball in
I
play.
mean, maybe.
I just think in the MLB, like if you have a good staff, right, and like they can put up shutout numbers, I just think it carries you so much. And like with power, right, like if you have power thrown in a lineup, like all it takes is one blast, and like
Yeah.
you're back.
Man. I mean, I guess if like people get on base, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, like if you're like a power team, right, like
Yeah.
like when you face a team with contact, right, it's like if you can like just limit like if you can limit the amount of like home runs, right, you can kind of work around it like a contact lineup. But with a power lineup, it's like when you're facing like who's a power team? Like historically, if you're facing like that Brace is a power team. Like that
The
was
Twins, not
the
2019
2019 Twins.
2019 Twins.
When you're facing that lineup, like you gotta work on everybody because everybody can take you deep.
Yeah.
I mean that was juice ball, but like
Yeah,
still
no.
everyone's a power.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like the Royals. The Royals team was kind of like hey, you know, like we're gonna get on base and steal bases. And I think as much as like it worked for like those 2 years, like it kind of like faded out and kind of died out. Like that's like the only thing
Yeah,
that
the
really
team
power
just died out in general. Like people got old and people got hurt and
The problem is with those speed guys is you can't use that speed if you don't get on base.
Yeah.
Like
once contact comes into play.
Right.
But like
You get on base and steal
Well,
bases.
contact, putting the ball in play and like being fast. will
but
get
a
you
lot
a
of
lot
these speed guys just suck at hitting. Like
Yeah.
I think Billy Hamilton, like this is like the fastest man I've ever seen, but he could not get on base to show that.
That's like the kind of guy who like kind of literally like only makes it that high because he has outstanding like speed.
Yeah. And that's
I think I'd build a team off power and contacts. Just even though pitching and
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, I think that pitching can pitching and carry team so much. Like the only person that is holding the ball is like has like the ball like all time. Basically, like every play as a pitcher. You know, like. And look at the Mariners. If they didn't have a good pitching staff, we'd literally be last.
Right.
We'd literally be worse than the Angels or A's. Like it'd be really bad. But because we have a good pitching staff, we're first place.
Yeah.
You know.
Alright, speaking of pitching, if your starter's like, 70 strong, right? And like he's getting high pitch count, he's at like 90 whatever pitches, right? Are you in favor of just taking him out on like the fresh inning and like getting a reliever to get like a fresh inning? Or are you in favor of like let the starter get as many outs as possible and then like, if he gets into trouble, take him out?
I'm about letting the pitcher go.
Okay.
I think that this one also depends on some different situations.
Yeah, I think it's very.
If you're up big, if your bullpen's well rested, like
we'll say in like a 2-run game,
2-run game.
So base runner, yeah, you're up 2 runs. So base runner will bring the tying run to the plate.
Okay. And the pitcher's at like
Let's say he's through 7 at like 95 pitches.
95 pitches. Okay.
And he's not like coming off an injury, so like he has the ability to go like further.
Wait, what's the score?
He's like dealing or like
He's relatively dealing, like he's it's not like no hitter, but like he's given up a few base runners, maybe a run or two.
Okay.
But he's like been relatively like dealing.
And this is start of the 7th inning?
No.
Or start of 8th inning?
Start of the 8th inning.
Then I would take him.
Take him
It
out.
just depends on how good your bullpen is, right?
You have to have 2 guys that
How
you know?
full your bullpen.
I guess like let's say you do have 2 guys you trust.
Oh, well, now I'm thinking about.
Take him out.
Like
You don't think you're like
Absolutely not.
if it's 7th inning, then I would push
If
it.
it's like if
Like-
the inning's over, like I'm not sending him back out there.
you
Absolutely,
like ending on like the
absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Not a chance in hell.
Yeah, I think 8th inning for sure because you have your setup and your closer. But if it's 7th inning, then you want to get. I'm like, yeah, first place.
I'm like all. I'm to be honest. I'm all for getting laid down on my start.
That's what
I hate
if
wasting
you
my
trust,
bullpen.
if you trust 2 guys in your bullpen, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the harm in like sending him out there and like if he gives up a run or gives up a base
That's
run,
true.
right?
That's true.
You
Well, then it's just like it's just like a scenario that could have been avoided that you like kind of like forced upon.
Yeah, but
forced
then you
upon
also
the
get like the scenario where like he just shoves in the 8th inning and now you went through one of the relievers.
Yeah.
You
See, it's like, do you want the 50-50 or do you want to just take like your Garrett?
I guess that's what the debate is.
I'd rather just take my relievers. I mean, I like to secure my wins. Like I don't like to leave it up because like if you leave it up to stuff like that, like they score a run, like all of a sudden momentum shifts.
Yeah,
you know?
but
It's
what-
not really the same game.
Yeah.
My one thing is like if your pitcher's dealing, right? Like he's dealing, so like he's on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not the risk of like a reliever having a bad day and like it kind of just like ruining like because we've seen starts like a pitcher goes 7 innings, right? Like and then he just gets ruined by a
Yeah.
reliever who like
Yeah.
just doesn't have anything, right?
I mean, like if he like
Yeah,
like the guy gives up like maybe like 1 hit, and it's a home run. I mean, I'll for sure let him stay.
No, but let's say he's like through 7, he's even like 4 or 5 hits and like a run or 2.
I don't trust it, man.
You don't trust him?
Yeah.
Just 7 innings. It's like
Yeah.
the 8th and the 9th is
Well, I don't
definitely
think
the most stressful.
I will say I don't think I'm expecting to go 9, but I think like getting a few more outside of him, like because if you think about it, right? Let's say you do get like this is like crazy, like if you get 2 outs out of him, right? You can do a 4-out save, and now you have like you saved an arm for like
That's
the next
true.
day.
I guess, but it's really
no, but if the reliever doesn't have it, you still have that second arm. Versus like if you have like a guy who's like, let's say you bring in a reliever, right? And he just doesn't have it. Now you run the risk of like now do you bring in your closer for a 4-out save, 5-out save? Do you go with another secondary arm where like he just gives up a ball and ruins your clouding,
It's all about how the pitchers are feeling.
Yeah.
honestly, it's more. I'm like a firm believer. Like the more you use those bullpen guys, the more consistent they'll become.
Mhm.
Anyways,
But you don't want to use them every game.
well, obviously not, but like you want to use them at like a scheduled stage,
That's
so that they have some level of consistency.
You don't want to.
I want to keep it. I would rather. I'd rather.
What are your guys' thoughts about changing pitcher mid at bat?
That's terrible.
Like someone did that.
Bro, I feel like
trying
low
to
key,
game.
depending on the count, like
Yeah.
that's kind of like OP.
It was like
Imagine if it's 0-2
it was 2-0.
or like
I'm like,
it's 2-0. No, I'm not. Or like if it's 0-2, like what if you just take him out and bring your closer?
That's
That's like, That's like an automatic. That's like an automatic out right there. Like
Imagine you get
That's just.
no, imagine you got your wild card guy, you know? Like, let's say it's like 2 outs, you know, and like
2 outs, 2 strikes.
Yeah, 2 outs, 2 strikes. No, it's like 0-2. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the rules are, but imagine like, you know, 0-2 or yeah, 0-2, right? And you have the bases loaded, right?
Yeah.
And like
your strike.
Yeah, bringing you like flamethrower. The guy like you don't know where the ball's going. So like the bat doesn't know the ball's in the air. So you got 3 balls to just throw one pitch right at the ball.
People need to do that more. And
But-
then one pitch you're done. Like anything like
Kind
yeah,
of
you got it.
wrapping up and like this is your point. Jay Kudo with the stat. Brian Abreu when he's on 0 days rest, right? 9 games, 9 innings, 9 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no earned, 17 strikeouts, only 2 walks, right? His stats are like insane. It's like 16.8 strikeouts per 9, you know, 5 hits per 9,
Yeah.
right? But when he has 1 day rest,
One.
yeah, 1 or more days rest. 23 games, 23 innings, 21 hits, 11 runs, all earned.
Because the problem is guys like these are like guys in the bullpen, they spent their entire like high school, like select ball, like
Yeah.
college ball, like either starting or being
Yeah.
the main guy on their team. Like these guys are used to throwing like
Yeah.
consistently. So when you throw them in the bullpen, use them every like freaking 3 days, obviously they're not gonna come in with their best stuff.
Yeah.
Like
All right, next one. Building through trades or building through free agency?
I'm building through. I'm building through free agency now. Just because the market isn't just limited to like the MLB anymore. We got like people coming from Japan and like
Yeah.
Korea and stuff like
That's
that.
true.
Like international.
Mhm.
Like I mean obviously like Dominican and stuff, but like it's more widespread international now. And so just for that, I'm gonna say
The idea is this, like, if you go through trades, right, you give up prospects,
Yeah.
but you don't, like, you can kind of.
you're basically giving up your future for the now.
Yeah, but you're also saving money. Like, if you
Yeah.
build through, like,
Yeah.
free agency, right, you're signing guys to, like, if you're signing, like, big names, right, like, you're signing guys for, like, 10-year deals, like, 9-year deals.
Well,
right?
and there's just way more people internationally
Yeah.
that probably will dominate and haven't even got a chance.
Right.
Guys that
More
people
of a-
don't have scouting
It's
reports
more of a
on.
risk though. I feel like
It's, yeah, it's really.
High risk,
one
low
of those, like,
reward.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you like the Mets, like, they built through free agency and, like, look what happened to them. Like,
You could also debate the Dodgers built their free agency and look at them.
They have not
Well,
not their whole
Not that whole
like,
team, but
well, like,
Freddie
what-
was free agency, right?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
they-
Freddie was
they-
free
they-
agency,
like,
Shohei was free agency, Yamamoto was free agency.
Mookie was traded.
Mookie was
Yeah, we'll give it a trade to Boston for Verdugo, right?
well, we still have to see what happens then, but, like,
Yeah.
last year it didn't work out well.
Well, last year they didn't have 2 people that they
That's
got from free
true.
agency.
That's
So let's see how this.
Yeah, we
works.
gotta see, that one's.
How
like,
the international
Yeah,
signings.
but like, if you look at like the Rangers, they built through trades,
Yeah,
right?
And
and I mean, look at what they are now, like,
Yeah, that's true.
they're sitting behind the Mariners.
I mean, the
well,
like,
no, I mean, would you say that they built trades like
Well,
Seager?
Adolis was a trade.
Adolis was a trade. Their pitching, I think, basically all.
Evan Carter was technically like
Yeah.
a program.
I think-
Well, I guess like they
Like, I mean, wasn't like Montgomery was a trade, Chapman, I almost
Chapman.
Scherzer, did Scherzer play last year?
Scherzer had like a few starts.
DeGrom, I don't know if you can.
DeGrom,
DeGrom has
like,
like,
yeah.
I forgot DeGrom was on
Yeah.
the Rangers, though. It's been on that long.
but like, if you look at like the Braves are like the key, like they use the trade to win a World Series thing, like with like Jorge Soler.
Yeah, that was
Peterson.
insane. Like their best player got injured and they just traded for like 4 outfielders
Yeah.
in the World Series. But I would argue that Rangers like they won the World Series because they spent $1 billion on 2 players and
That's true.
like they spent money like what Cal Raleigh said last year. Like
Mhm.
you spend money, you win the World Series. Like that's like
I
you gotta
guess
spend
they
money to
they
do that.
like build through free agency.
They a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had
Free
good
agency is
balance.
the move.
I think
I just think like
Yeah.
nobody's really locking down on these like multi-year deals anyways. Like especially the younger guys, like they're not even like at that
But
point
you
yet.
also have to like think about like building through trades and like not star players.
Yeah.
Cause
That was
like,
not free agency.
cause like if you look at like the Padres, right? Like they got Tatis on a trade where like they gave away someone.
Yeah.
But also, you at that point you're trading.
No, the Padres
Magic
sucks.
No,
So
but like I mean Tatis was he top there's like top prospects like where like the miracle didn't work out. But like trading Edwin Diaz and Alonso Cano for Jared Cohen.
Yeah.
Jared Cohen was the key in that trade.
Yeah,
And like you're trading for a prospect in the hopes that he'll be good,
yeah,
right? Like you don't have to like be just trading prospects for like a star player. You can like do it the other way, where like you trade like, you know, a better player for like a star or for like a prospect that you think is gonna like pan out well.
yeah. Like a team that needs it now
Yeah,
and making a push. Like,
right. Like we've seen
Yeah.
like, you know, like we've seen like on like, oh, you know, the Dodgers had Jordan Alvarez in their system type
Yeah.
of thing. Where like, yeah, the Astros probably weren't expecting Jordan to be this good, but like
Yeah.
you still built through the trade. Like
yeah,
you're picking up guys who you take a chance on. And like in free agency, I don't think you can really do that.
yeah. Trades is more
Like you can
higher
get
upside. You know
yeah,
what I'm
and you
saying?
can get younger players for trades.
Yeah.
Like you can't like with free agency, like you can't like sign a guy who's in his third year.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
you know,
Like for the now, like
You-
if you want to win now, like free agency.
Yeah.
Like if you want to win, if you
I
want
think
to
I'll
set
say
a good future.
I think building through like trades like improves your ceiling. I think building through free agency improves your floor.
Yeah.
So like with your when you build through like signings, right? You can like establish like a floor, like the Rangers did. Like okay, this is like the infield, the middle infield. Like that's our floor.
Yeah.
Will be like X amount of win team. And then you build like adding on pieces through the trades and like saying like, hey, we're gonna build pitching. We're gonna do this to like improve like our ceiling to be a World Series winner team.
Yeah.
Another coaching thing. Are you a quick hook on lineup changes, or you let them kind of like figure it out type of guy?
I'm a let them figure it out type of guy.
Definitely not
also,
just 62 game season. Like definitely let them figure it
Yeah.
out.
Really?
You know, personal experience from high school. Our coach changed a lot, way too much. He started our center fielder at shortstop.
Oh,
in our
yeah,
playoff
yeah.
game, and he made 3 errors in the first inning, which led to a grand slam, and we lost by 1. Yeah, like, okay, that's like too extreme. Like,
But,
I don't
like,
be like,
Well, I feel like it isn't like nobody makes lineup changes like that anyway. It's like
yeah,
lineup changes would be like subtle like batting
Yeah.
order changes.
What's your hook? Yeah, like what's your hook? You know, like if a batter is struggling, right? Let's say your two hitters kind of slumping, you know, over the last like exit, like what's the number like
So-
where you say like okay, let's move them down the lineup a little bit. Let's let somebody else.
I'm giving him like 5 games to figure it out max.
5 games.
If he isn't figuring it out within 5 games, then we have to start
for
figuring
sure.
it.
I think
5
Like,
games
I
is
feel
a
like
series.
2 series.
It's a series, which is basically 2 series. So a series, travel time, and then a series, and then travel time
And
again.
then it's like, okay, I'll give you a break.
Yeah,
You know,
like
let
let's
you
just
figure it out.
like let you like it's been 2 series now. Like
Do you believe in moving someone down the lineup or just giving them a day off?
I believe it will be that, especially
I
like
think moving down,
But, like, no day
less,
off.
less pressure.
Like you don't give them a day to like kind of reset a little bit.
I think it depends on how they're struggling.
you got to be honest, like you have the game's only 2.5 hours. Like you have every other day to reset, and then you have the rest of the day to reset.
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
I think if they're like getting unlucky, like if you can tell they're kind of like hitting the ball hard still,
Mhm.
then you just keep them. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you move them at all.
Hit the ball hard. I mean, that's what they said for Julio. He's hitting the ball hard, so like, we're just keeping him there.
I like cause like personal experience, like in high school, like I was like slumping a little bit, right? I got a day off, and then the next day, like I was back on,
Yeah.
got a full base hits,
Yeah.
feelings back. It's just like like some guys just get in their head, like, hey, I'm not hitting, I'm
Yeah.
like slumping, I keep striking me out, right? I can't like seem to hit X pitch, right? And just keep a day off, reset, let them watch the game
Yeah.
a little bit, let them like stay loose
Yeah.
in the dugout,
Yeah.
but like just track pitches or something like where there's like less pressure, less eyes on you, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
less like requirements of you, and then like coming back the next day, like having that mentality, like okay, this is what I saw, and like this is what I can do. Like
Yeah.
if you're a pitcher, right, like the 4 days where you're not pitching in MLB, you're like watching, so like
Yeah.
you can see like okay, in this lineup, if you're like the third game of a series, like hey, in the first 2 games they were getting them out on the high fastball, right? Like this is what I can do, and like I think with hitting it's the same thing. Like if you see like okay, like if you're typically a leadoff hitter, right, and like you get the day off, and you see the next leadoff hitter, oh, like he's more like swing at the first pitch, and like if he has success, then you're like okay, maybe I gotta like be more aggressive, right? Or like if you're like an aggressive hitter, and then you see like some like you're the guy who's like in for you, not like going to replace you, just giving you the day off, take a few pitches, right? And like he gets on base or something. then it's like, okay, maybe I should take it to just make an adjustment based off of like what you see versus like going down the lineup and like getting in your head like, damn, I really got like I was a 2-hitter, now I'm like the 7-hitter now.
Well, I mean, if a player is good though,
Yeah.
like it shouldn't be, cause like even at like my 10U level, like there are kids like I've hit at the 3 hole
Mhm.
and then move them down to like, or the 2 hole and then move them down to like 7 or 8.
Mhm.
And like I can tell like it like motivates them to like play better, in my opinion.
I think
I don't know if it'll apply to adults as much, just because they've been doing it their whole lives, but it's gotta be human nature.
I think it
like-
also helps like if you're the 7-hitter, you need more like fastballs to hit, or like more like you're not gonna be like as focused on. Versus if you're like the 2-hitter, right? Like you're the second guy in the lineup. Like the pitcher just started, like he just got the leadoff hitter. Now it's like now you're the 2-hitter. You're like the star, like the hard part of the lineup. If you're the 7-hitter, you're like, okay, the pitcher just got out of the hard part of the lineup. Now all you got now like this is like the get me over part of the lineup.
I think that, yeah, I think also, because I think my senior year, I started like hitting 6th, and then I think that I was like, oh, like for me, I'm like, I think I deserve to be a top of the lineup guy, and it motivates me more to do better. It's also less pressure, just because you're batting 6, like there's not like
This is a weight off your
Opposite
shoulders.
side. But opposite side, let's say like your 7-hitter is hitting pretty well. Are you quick to move him up to like higher in the lineup?
But then like I think they did that with like Kalanick,
Right.
and then he just started not hitting.
Yeah.
I think like some guys like they kind of need to be like lower in the lineup because they need that. They can't do that well under pressure.
Right. It's like I know the Braves though with RCO last year, like he was hitting like 300, but they still kept him at like the eight hole.
And also like I think like in like through the course of the game, like having the lower part of the line is it could be just as important as your top part of the lineup. Like your 9 and 8 hitter are basically like, if you're a good team, they're basically like your leadoff hitters. If your 9, 8, and 9 hitters are doing good, then that just makes it so much easier for your top, like so much more opportunity for top lineup. So I think it's okay to have a good hitter batting like 8th or 7th or 8th or 9th.
I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with like the second leadoff hitter type idea, like your 9 is the second leadoff hitter. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either, but that's a conversation.
I mean, you kind of get into it. Like, I think your 9-hitter is just like a guy who, if you get production out of, you're happy with.
I'm more of a believer of just like
I think your best hitter should be the top of the lineup. I don't think you should put like.
Yeah, you want to
I don't think you should put a good lineup, like a good hitter. Like
I don't know. I'm not a believer of like the max 9-hitter being the second leadoff hitter, but I also don't agree necessarily with stacking just all your best hitters at the top. I think like scattering it throughout, in my opinion, is better.
Yeah,
That's
but I
just
think if you have like a decent hitter, right? I don't think moving him from like sixth in order to 9th in order makes sense. I think I'd rather have him like in the sixth spot, right? And like having him produce at the 6th spot than like forcing him to the 9th spot and like possibly getting more production out of him.
I've always kind of saw this kind of way, like your 1 through 5 guys, and your 6 through 9 guys, or your 5 through 9 guys are kind of like another lineup. Like you have your 1 through 4 guys, speed, power, contact, right? And then you have you might have like, or maybe like kind of backwards. Like you have your
backwards.
6th through 8th is like power. Like kind of like
power, and then you got like some contact, and then
like your last guy is just like maybe there for defense, but he's really fast.
Yeah,
and he might bunt for a base hit. Kind of Sam Haggerty type of guy.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Dylan Moore, like
that's what I think. I like, but I don't think you really consider a second leadoff hitter. I mean, I guess
it's like a leadoff hitter, but like worse.
Yeah,
like a lot worse.
Yeah, but I don't think like. I don't like the idea of having the second leadoff hitter because like then it kind of.
I don't think you should purposely move someone good. I think you just
Okay. And then the last one, another coaching thing, was about pitching. Are you in favor of like coach calling the pitches? Like,
so
I'm specifically like a specialist.
I'm a fan of the specialist. Like I'm a fan of a third opinion and a guy who watches the game from like afar. But I'm not a fan of the fact that there was like a guy in the MLB, I forgot who it was, but he said it wasn't his choice. And like if the pitchers can call it off, I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Just because like pitchers are there in the game and they like see everything. But. Yeah, technically I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it as long as a pitcher and catcher can override.
I like and then the pitcher has like
Final say on it.
Yeah, the final
good
say.
final say.
Yeah, the final say is
Like
very important.
in the end, like it's him who has like the ball. He knows how his arm's feeling.
Yeah,
If they call a curveball and he's like I'm not confident in it, like you don't have to throw it, you know.
Mhm.
Don't force it and give a homer on it or just spike it, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but overall, I don't really know. I mean, I think MLB most times catcher calls it, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
But I also see sometimes the coach giving signs.
So I think I know for specifically like Yanni and Martin Maldonado, they're both Puerto Rican. I just checked, so it might be something with like Puerto Rican like style of baseball or whatever. But I know those two specifically, they had like the coach like call pitches. Like I've seen like Martin Maldonado like he'll call the pitch and like put his head down because like it's like this.
Yeah, I saw
yeah,
that.
like, this isn't gonna work. And then he gets a ball. It's like right. I've seen Yachty like he built like every time I've seen Yachty, he's like looking in the line, like looking into the dugout and then making the call. So I mean it worked for like those two. More say Yachty. I don't know about longer guy, but hey, he's a World Series winner, so
Yeah.
I'll diss him on that. But I think having like a coach, I think it's fine to have a coach call. But I think the catcher should also have a say.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Catcher and pitcher should have a say.
Right, because like I think as much as like the coach sees something, right? Like
They're not actually there feeling out
Right.
the game.
like the catcher knows, like hey, like
He's late as hell. or
It's really like this isn't like intended movement.
Yeah,
I mean, he throws a slider that like moves a lot like more than like he expected, right? And you know, like okay,
Yeah.
well, like I set up inside and like he threw it outside, and like as much like you can see the numbers on there and like be like damn, this guy's throwing like he has a great slider. He is moving like
Yeah.
extra today, but like maybe it's not controlled, or like maybe you don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah. If you're an MLB catcher and you're like a catcher, like
Yeah, you should do a call.
you should be good enough, like to call your own pitches. Yeah.
Anything else? Good. All right.
Pretty fun episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you guys for listening to the first live in-person episode, and hopefully we'll be doing these more
Yeah.
over the summer.
Let's go.
All right, see ya.
Swimmers.